welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about 4 films from the Sonny Chiba collection that are also coming out now in Eureka in the UK, which is the Yakuza Welsh films and the Bodyguard Kiba films. So these are all very, very wonderful films. Now, a lot of these in this collection have been released by Eureka. So, I mean, it's like almost everyone's been released by Eureka. But it's still a good collection if you want to. This one's a Region 1, Shout Factory. You get less extras in this, but you get to see films. So, now, I should say that the Graham 1V film has just done the Yakuza Wolf on videos as well. I haven't watched them yet. I'm going to watch them now after I put this up, because I don't want to knowingly take anything from his video. So I'd rather do mine, and then we'll see if there's any kind of crossover. So I'll start off with Bodyguard Kiba, because that's the ones I watched first. These were most solid. I mean, the Yakuza Wolf one of them was better than the Bodyguard Kiba one was worse than the Bodyguard Kiba one. But this one these are the two in the middle. Bodyguard Kiba itself is a really fun film. It really is really enjoyable. I mean, the big thing about these films is the first one in both cases were much better than the second one. But there's a much bigger drop for the Yakuza Wolf series. Yeah, the Bodyguard Kiba is basically this guy comes back and he stops a terrorist action on a plane in the first scene, in a very fake looking plane, to be honest. And then people asked him later on in the press conference, why did you do it? And he goes, and the rest of them, was it for morality, was it for this? He goes, no, it's to advertise my skills as a bodyguard. And he blatantly sells himself in a press conference after he's done something amazing. And then you basically follow him on a case as he's basically trying to advertise his skill. We taught him all he knew about being a bodyguard, and he's going to show off his skills to promote it. So this annoys his sensei a little bit, but doesn't really bother him. So you basically follow him on a case. He's protecting this woman for 3 or 4 days. And basically, he doesn't care what she's doing. I mean, he suspects it could be illegal, but he doesn't really. It's not a board. His job is to protect her. So that's what's good about the character. The character's not trying to be nice. The character's just who he is. He's a bodyguard. And there's various people trying to kill her from various factions. And his job basically is to stop them from killing her over a certain amount of time. And that's the story. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to know about the film. Is like he's going to stop them from killing her, and he's going to be tough. And there's Sonny Chiba playing him, so of course he's going to be tough. And he's a pure movie star mode. Sonny Chiba can be a good character actor, but also he's a good movie star. And this one is pure movie star. There's not much to the character. He's an egotist, but he's got the charm, Sonny Chiba charm, to pull it off. So that even though the character is very full of himself, he's also very competent, and you just enjoy being around him because he's such a fun character. And Chiba's so much fun. And it's one of those things, is like, it's hard to explain the film without giving away all the fun stuff. It's just really good setups of action scenarios, and then you get the payoffs. You have characters in very complicated bits of threat to them, and you see them get out of it, and you see Chiba beating the hell out of lots of people. You have these 3 brothers who are the main villains of the piece, but there's also a lot of side villains, and they are enjoyably sleazy. There's a American base that is selling stuff in the black market that's part of the story that tie into these 3 brothers, and there's lots of complications. But it doesn't matter. It's just like pretty much these are the complications that set up the next action scene. That's it. It's all about setting up the next moment we see Sonny Chiba being cool and showing off how good he is at his job. That's the whole film. It's very spaghetti western. You know, it's very absurd, knowingly absurd. It's pretty much in love with spaghetti westerns. That's it. And that's enough sometimes. That really is enough sometimes in some films. This is a wonderful film. I recommend it highly. You know, there's no substance to it, but it does have enough kind of grace to it, and it has enough noirish qualities to keep you interested beyond the action stuff. So even the dialogue scenes are enjoyable, and there are some, well, dubious things in it, you know, but 70s Japanese Yakuza movie, sometimes the women are not treated as well as they could be, but it's still wonderful. Bodyguard Kiba 2 is a lesser sequel. It does feel like they've actually taken another script and put Kiba into it. He still has his sister that's been added, but it feels been added pretty quickly. But it feels like it's like one Sonny Chiba film. We'll call it Kiba 2. So they have something early on where he's protecting his sister. She gets blinded temporarily. He gets thrown in jail for fighting for his honour against this other clan of fighters, which makes no sense from the beginning to the end of the last one, where he's going off to spread his skills to the world. And it just feels a massive come down. It's not the same character, even though they're saying it is. And that always feels disappointment, because when you see him in jail becoming friends with someone else, then you see him come out of jail and become a bodyguard for these gangsters, and it feels like it's a different character. He would not take the guff he takes from these characters as a character from the first film. It just feels it's a different character. Kiba's a different character. Sonny Chiba's playing him in a different way. So you've still got the Chiba charm, but he's playing different scenes, and it's not as good a story. It feels like a lesser script where you've a lead character who's having to deal with these three other gangsters who are interlinked and they don't like each other much, but then there's under threat from the guy who became friends with in jail, who comes back out of jail, gets released from jail, and he's a threat on them. And so your lead character sort of becomes who was a supporting character, you know, and essentially Kiba is like a supporting character in his own movie, and there's not enough interesting things going on there. It just is like, there's some fun character beats, but it's not the same character. It's like, you should not have called him this character. It's not Kiba. So it becomes very disappointing. The fact that it becomes disappointing is what kind of kills the movie, is the fact that you're just like deflated. This is where they're going. This is just fairly insulting. So it's best to just look at it as a different character. Even then, the film doesn't have enough momentum. It slows down, avoids the fights as long as possible, and if when you get to the end fights, they're okay, but they're not anything amazing. And it's just like there's no sense of people wanting to make this film. A sense of like it's a contract film. It's like, we have to do this, and we'll be professional about it, but we're kind of, you know, we're not that enthused by it, and it comes over to the audience as like that the supporting actors seem to be more fun than Chiba is having in this film. They've been more to do. Chiba's much more, you know, he's there, but he's not really been tested. He's not been tested in the way we'd been a character work, and obviously been asked best movie star. He's just been left to float in between. But it's still an enjoyable programmer, really, but it's just not top level. It's mid-range at best. Now we go to Yakuza Wolf. Yakuza Wolf is the best of these four. Yakuza Wolf is a stunningly fun film. It's like, it's a total spaghetti western. I mean, Kiba was a spaghetti western in lots of ways, but this one's a full-on spaghetti western. It's pretty much influenced by Django. It's basically, Chiba's the son of a guy who was killed in a gang war. He has to go and find his sister, and he has to get revenge on all the people who did his dad in dirty. He really didn't even like his own dad. And you've got a policeman who's watching all situations, watching Chiba destroy these other guys, realising, if I just let him do what he's going to do, I can arrest him at the end. You know, just completely cynical, but really fun. And Chiba just destroys them one after another, and just in wonderful ways. And there's, I mean, like Bodyguard Kiba, there is a kind of seedy, nasty sexual undertone to the movie of how the way the Japanese men treat their women and how they view women as disposable. And it's like, and then that's against the fact that Chiba does have like decent relationships with women in these films, but the world around them is pretty brutal. And it makes this interesting thing of looking at the 70s and what the attitudes were. It's something that's like, I'm sure it offends some people nowadays, but it's like you have to just look at this as where they were at the time. But the film itself is just great. It's like there's no sentimentality. People die horribly. Chiba uses so many gangsters for his own way to take out his enemies. He manipulates everybody to take each other out so he can just get to his point quickly enough. And it's wonderful because everyone knows they're being used, but they still is like, well, I can make out from this. And it's a completely cynical world, and it's just so enjoyable. But they actually bring it down to kind of some emotions towards the end as you find out what happened to his sister and the difficulties that he has dealing with that. Is like, it just shows you how brutal the world is and how horrible these characters actually are. It's just a wonderful film, though. It's just like non-stop. This is pulp at its best. It's pure pulp, very influenced by Django. There's a section in the end. It's pretty much ripping off Django, but who cares? Because it's cheaper ripping off Django. Who cares? And it's just like Yakuza Wolf is one of those films. It's like, I don't want to explain that much about what happens. It's just like, he's out for revenge. He's going to kill lots of Yakuza. That's it. He's hunting them down. He's called Yakuza Wolf because he's a wolf hunting his prey against all these other Yakuza who don't realise how much trouble they're in. It's just a joy. As you can probably tell, I want to watch it right now just from talking about it. It's just wonderful. Finally, we have Yakuza Wolf 2, which is the weakest of the whole films. It's just a cash in the name. He's not even the same character in this one. He's not even the same type of character. This is like a film that's kind of a comedy drama. It's a kind of revenge tale of whoever. Chiba gets set up at the beginning and goes to jail, for a deal going wrong. The people who set him up, he's going to get back. He makes a pal in jail. Then they get paroled, and there's lots of other people manipulating the situation to get revenge on this gang. But nothing's taken seriously. Everything's played for jokes. I mean, the lead character's out for revenge, but he's also got a jokey side, and it doesn't really fit very well. His pal is out for money, but he's also a jokey side. The film is aimless as hell. It's like they start stuff, then they just let it float away. They get a gang together, and then things happen, but there's no build to anything. And eventually, we better have an ending where we get rid of all the villains. Let's have an action scene at the end. And it's like, there's no build to anything. Things just happen and stop, and happen and stop, and it's like, none of the characters are that motivated. All the characters in the first film were very motivated. They were serious, they wanted certain things done, and that was it. And this one, it's like, I'll get to that eventually. People who are meant to be out for revenge just kind of shrug half the time and say, oh, I guess that went wrong. There is a wonderful sequence where Chiba has to crawl under this bridge over this massive drop that looks pretty scary. And that's the best part of the film. And there's some nice bits of action over there, but none of the action is that great. It's all kind of stuff you've seen before done better. Feels like people who are in the film are saying, I'm leaving my best stuff for another film because this one's not going to come together well. I'll just do a decent job. I'll do a professional job here, but it's not. It's just a cash in on a title. And it's like, here's a script I've got, we'll just call it Yakuza Wolf 2. It's nothing to do with it, but let's just call it that. So yeah, I mean, it's an exploitation of the original title. It's the one film in this box set I'm pretty sure I won't watch again. Even Bodyguard Kiba 2, there were some nice bits in it that I liked, even though it wasn't top level. I mean, Bodyguard Kiba and Yakuza Wolf, definitely watch them again because they are really good. The other ones in the set are wonderful as well in different ways. I mean, Fall of Axel Castle was the best thing in the set. Samurai Reincarnation is wonderful. There's so much good stuff in this set, apart from this film. It's like it just jumps out as being like this is kind of rubbish, and in reality it's just mediocre. I mean, there's just nothing to it. But yeah, I mean, I suppose you get. I wouldn't pay them the return money for it. I mean, if you can get both the same, if you get as part of a sale, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's worth buying for Yakuza Wolf, that Eureka set, but Yakuza Wolf 2, it's not that good. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon with some more. That's me for now. Right? Bye.